Guys, Bloody Jacob here to give you my thoughts on the first two episodes we've gotten so far of Batwoman on the CW. Obviously, episode 1 and episode 2, the pilot, and episode 2 called The Rabbit Hole.
Stupid person.
Meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Yeah, I meant to actually review the pilot episode on its own, but working full time throughout the week, and then through Friday, through the weekend, and so started to get all my reviews out on time, and I thought, okay, let's see a little bit more of it, maybe get more of my bearings on the show with the first two episodes instead of just the pilot, and then sort of give my initial thoughts, thus far. And, I was looking forward to Batwoman a fair amount. With Ruby Rose's casting, it's like, okay, we'll see where it goes. And, then with her appearance in the, CW DC crossover event last year, I was pretty, taken with her. I thought she, did well on screen in the suit and everything. So I was open to it. And I got to say, with the first two episodes, I think it has some promise, some definite potential. It's not perfect. There are definitely some weak links within the show, I think. But what I'm seeing so far, I'm enjoying kind of steadily more and more as it goes. And I was surprised how much I actually ended up liking the pilot itself as well. Now we're not going to be able to get into every scene or anything, so comment below if you want to talk about more things from it that I don't bring up, which I'm sure there will be ones I don't. I just kind of wanted to touch on my thoughts on some general points to the show so far. And then we can, one thing, we'll see how they handle it. It seems to be most of the stories taking place before we actually see Batwoman in that crossover we had last year. Before she had met up with Oliver and the others, because she doesn't have her fully kind of customized suit yet, with the red and everything, and she's just driving back in Gotham, whereas she was already patrolling like she was used to it for a while by the time we seen her in the crossover. So these episodes are taking place beforehand at this point, though it seems like she's getting more into the suit we seen her in next week's episode. I'm guessing it could still be like a mid-season thing, or maybe it's caught up to the present of the other shows by the end of the season. I don't know. I'm not even sure how many episodes there are supposed to be this season. I don't know if it's 13 or 22. 22 is a standard for the CW, but first season maybe a little bit less. It is keeping a good pacing so far, so I'm wondering if it is only 13 and that's why things are actually moving along. I don't know. Because I was pleasantly surprised by the Alice, sister reveal at the end of the first episode, and then, how they actually had met up again already in the second episode. So it seems like things are moving along steady enough that it might only be 13. Again, I'm not sure. I haven't been able to find anything on it. Let me start off by talking about Ruby Rose herself. And now I think parts of the show are a bit sort of like mismarketed. A lot of people are after it because she's just hating on Batman and using all his stuff. And they're kind of being forceful with the female empowerment thing, which is usually never a bad thing. There's bad ways to handle it in both directions, I think. But it's not quite on the nose as the trailers made it out to be, and there's kind of a deeper underlying reason why Kate sort of has this grudge against him. And it's given actually a good amount of context and development in the first episode, I think. We see that, well, obviously Bruce is her cousin, but we see that Batman had actually, tried to save the car with her sister in it. He had made a slight miscalculation as he went after some sort of villain, and then his sister was not able to make it out, but Kate was, and Luke Fox, who is conveniently the son of Lucius Fox, said Batman never stopped searching for the body, and that's when we find out about Alice, or actually being Beth Kane, Kate's sister. And of course, once Kate finds out that Bruce was Batman, she sees, okay, yeah, he wasn't such this this bad guy, or like this misrepresented force of good. It was like a genuine mistake, and he actually tried to make up for it. But why is Batman gone now? We still don't know. Apparently the creators or writers don't even actually know yet for sure either. I've seen that in an interview with them, which is kind of odd that they won't know a major plot point like that where they're going with it yet, but we'll see. So I like that part of it for the most part anyway. I think the best thing about the show, well, again, let's talk about Ruby Rose. I think she has the right demeanor for it. She definitely has the right look for it. I mean, she looks strong. She has that sort of cold, removed type of nature at times that a lot of the Bat family tends to. And she can handle herself. I mean, she looks like she can actually maybe do a little something. And her early suit without the red hair, I'm actually kind of warming up to. It's growing on me a bit. I think especially look even better in the second episode for some reason. I don't know if it was the lighting or what, but I'm not minding it. Now, a lot of people have been complaining about her acting, saying she doesn't have, a lot of range or whatever. She's like, a brick wall or something. I won't go that far. I mean, I do think she needs to kind of work on her emotions a bit. I mean, but we'll see. Maybe there's a scene later where she kind of pushes herself a bit more. But for now, she is maybe a tad flat in certain bits, but, I still think she is a good choice for it. I think, given the right scene, she could really shine a little more as it goes, hopefully. I just think it depends on what scenes they write for. We'll see. As far as the rest of the acting, though, I do really like Rachel Skarsten as Alice. Sort of like a, kind of like a. She's not completely off the rails like the Joker, and I guess she's not quite as crazy as her comic book version. But she's sort of like the Joker to Kate's Batwoman, really. And then they have the, of course, sister connection, which I really like. She's quite good, Rachel Skarsten. I do like her. I think she, along with Ruby Rose, maybe the most convincing on the show, along with Doug Ray Scott as Jacob Kane, her father. Leading this group called the Crows with Batman's absence, but there's maybe a corrupt, darker underlying nature to him that I think we might find out about later. And I really like, Rachel Skarsten, and her and Kate's dynamic has been the best thing about the first two episodes, I believe. I did have another photo ready of the two of them together. They met up at the, the old waffle stand spot in the second episode, but it didn't work. But that's my favorite part of it so far, and I actually think there's been some decent acting between the two. And again, I like the pacing of them already meeting up after, Kate finding out about their connection. But as far as the rest of the cast, Doug Ray Scott is alright. Again, kind of that father figure. You don't know if you're gonna, be able to fully trust on the road or not. But there's some decent flashbacks with him, and I think he fits the role. And then another big part of it is you have this, sort of a romance issue, with Kate and Sophie, played by Megan Tandy, excuse me. Of course, Kate was kicked out of the military academy because she was found out being gay, and basically Sophie had, as far as kind of denied the whole thing, to keep where she's supposed to be going in her life, going. There might be more context to that, but still, I get why Kate would kind of feel like that's sort of a, kick in the balls. And of course, she's working for the Crows now, and she has a husband, or she's engaged, or whatever I think it is. And I don't know, I mean, I think it's great that we have a, lesbian, female superhero-led show. I don't think it's a, bad thing. That's not my issue here. In fact, I like it. I think it's, working that we don't have, like, a guy she's necessarily fawning over or whatever, because that's been, done to death. But, I just don't really care for Megan Tandy's performance so far. I don't know what it is. I feel like the character also is a bit, I don't know, maybe expendable, I'm not sure. And I feel like there could be a more interesting love interest for Kate out there than Sophie. I don't know. She feels a bit, kind of too teen drama-ish for me. But again, we'll see where it goes. She's mostly just a damsel in distress so far. Although her and Kate do briefly fight side by side in the garage in episode 2, but I don't really buy her. And Luke Fox, sort of like our comic relief. He's not too bad, a decent foil for Ruby Rose's, sort of again, kind of cold removedness in some scenes. He's all right. And then we have Kate's stepmother and her daughter as well, and they're kind of side characters, maybe more of a connection to what actually happened. The sister, who's stepsister Mary. It seems I don't think we need a big family. I kind of wish it wasn't as. I hope they don't concentrate on the family as much as like Arrow ended up doing. I don't think that's necessary, but we'll see where it goes with that. So overall, it's not perfect. It has some, I think, weaker performances in it, and some characters that don't feel as necessary as our main, 2 or so leads. But I think again, it has some promise and potential, and I am going to keep watching. I'm going to try and keep reviewing it if I can. And something I thought about. I mean, I'm rating the pilot probably between like a. Sometimes I feel like my ratings are too easy, so I'm giving it between like a 7.3 and 7.5 maybe. Episode 2 I thought was a bit stronger with the Alice and Kate stuff, and kind of Alice playing with Kate a little bit. Oh yeah, maybe I am your sister because I know all these details when I just read about it and this or Duck and Go Bat. But no, it's they are sisters, and there's that moment towards the end where Kate actually saves Alice from drowning when when there's an explosion on the bridge, which actually turns out to maybe the stepmother doing that. Also curious about how much her father knows. And it was a really nice moment between the two, and Kate saves her, with the breather, Batman's breather. And again, people make the comment that, oh yeah, she doesn't want to be known as Batman. It seems like she's using her own costume in the next one, so people won't see her as Batman, they'll see her as something different. And people are complaining, oh yeah, she's complaining about Batman, but yet she's using all this stuff, and yeah, she is. But now she knows it's, Bruce and everything, and she's trying to honor him because she knew of his, real, genuine intentions, despite the mistake that happened. So, that's been worked out a little bit better for me, I think. But yeah, the second episode I did like more. Again, the best thing about the show is Alice and Kate. And so I'm giving the second episode, I think I'll give it like an 8, maybe 8.2 out of 10. I did honestly enjoy it more than this week's Van Helsing episode, but let's keep that between us. So follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.